Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Reviews, and I hope you are having a great day today. Today, we're going to be talking about No Plan B, which was a joint venture between Lee Child and Andrew Child. If you'll remember, for the longest time, Lee Child was the main author of these books and did a phenomenal job with them. And then, about 3 years ago, has it really been that long? Well, 2 to 3 years ago, he put out a press junket that he was going to pass over all the stuff for Jack Reacher to his brother, Andrew Child. And the first book really, it was kind of rough. The second one, I was like, well, maybe I'll give the third one a chance. And the third one, here we are. I think this is the third one anyway. Things have been very busy. So, real quick, the production. Scott Brick, my God, the man does anything he reads, just as it seems like. The length of the audiobook is about 11 hours, 3 minutes. But overall, it's one of those things of, is it really worth it? So let's explore it, shall we? The book itself starts out with Jack Reacher witnessing somebody getting pushed in front of a bus. And from a couple different vantage points, it looks like the person just jumped in front of the bus. And this kicks off our story. And the story is almost back to the formulations that he was using whenever this was a pulp machine, just pumping out books. And if anybody is a fan of the series, they know what time period I'm talking about. So it's unfortunately almost forgettable. Was it a entertaining read? Yes, but I'm going to be absolutely upfront about this. I have been so overswamped work-wise. I took on a bunch of projects, and we're getting there. But it's not that I've been distracted. I've actually been listening. But for the most part, I can't tell you most of what this book is about, even though I've listened to it 3 times. And so does that mean it's worth anything that I would say you want to get this book? I would lean towards no, but yes. And the yes is for those people that are the diehard fans of the series. That's the thing that's going to keep this going. It's not going to be new people picking up the book just because it's on the top of the Times or on top of this list or on top of this list. It's the legacy of it all is what I think it is leaning on so hard right now. And it needs to stop. Either Andrew needs to get out and Lee needs to take it on and just write, or it needs to be given a very nice, proper send-off, because this is not working, in my humble opinion anyway. And it's not that I don't like the way that it's wrote, it's that the magic that was there on a little bit of mystery, a little bit of this, all those things are slowly fading away because everything is being spoon-fed so hard to the people that are reading it. It's almost as if the author or authors think that their fans are absolute idiots and they don't need to have misdirection. They don't need to have those things that would make it a little suspenseful. I mean, I have seen the end of this book coming the first time that I listened to it from like the 3rd chapter. I mean, it's insane how easy I was able to get to the end conclusion. And that's always been the joy of it for me whenever I was reading Jack Reacher. I don't want you to think that I'm trashing Lee Child or Andrew Child. So there's all these supposed moving parts. Not really. I mean, there's a overarching scheme. There's a subplot. There's the information that you need to get from point A to point B. And then to point E, you can pretty well skip a lot of it. And that's my problem with it is it seems like it's really jumbled compared to what it was in the past before Andrew was in it. Granted, it might be that he's a budding author. He might have years of experience, and he might be doing the best that he can to fill the shoes of his brother or to explore this character. But it just doesn't have the same cutthroat, ride or die, hard A type of a feeling to it as it did in the past. And I think that's probably my main issue is typically in the stories of the past, there would be a like main overarching plot, and then there would be the subplots that would have to be achieved in order for the main plot to be resolved, and then he'll move to the next town. And that's kind of getting wishy-washy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got ADHD and I've got it good. So it's one of those things that whenever I get a story that jumps back and forth, I like that because that's the way my mind works. I ride that ADD train in a circle every day. But whenever it comes to a story being told, whenever time is of essence or this, that, and the other, it really doesn't do any good to have things scattered out so much. And it's not like this book jumps back and forth in time. It doesn't do that. But as far as like the thought process of the book, that's what I'm kind of getting on. I don't know if it's that maybe there's issues in between Lee and Andrew whenever it comes to this being wrote. Maybe Andrew just needs to have free reign. Maybe Lee needs to have full reign. I'm not sure which it is, but there's certainly a unpolished amount to these books now that used to not be there. And it's kind of heartbreaking to see because I was so looking forward to reading this book, and whenever it came out, I was so happy to get it. And then I got through it and I was like, well, okay, that was just another book. Fair, done. So can I absolutely recommend it to people? Probably not. And I hate to say that because these things used to be my guilty pleasure. And now they're just kind of mainstream mush. Yep. So there will be no clap award. None of that. And it's kind of sad to say that because whenever I was much, much younger, the whole Jack Reacher thing was kind of like a hero worship, you know. And as I've gotten older, it's not that I've gotten to the point where I don't like books like that. It's not that I've gotten to the point where I don't like the whole he's the man's man. But on the same token, it's like Jack has lost his focus in these books, or the focus for Jack has been lost over the years, and now he's just a character that's a womanizer and beats up on the unsavory types from time to time and does solve problems, but instead of taking on problems that are really unique and situational for the individuals that are in his surroundings, now he seems like he'll just take on anything, even while they're in the middle of a story. So there is that. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing for me. So anyway, the long and the short is, I don't think that I can give this the Shane's golden stamp of yes, I would recommend at all. If you're a die-hard fan, I could see this being something that you would think would be worth your time, effort, and energy, just to have the backfill in case something amazing happens in the next book. But on the same token, I think it's safe to say that you could probably skip this one, quite frankly, because there's not a whole lot there. That's sad. But, however, I am reading one of the things that is a guilty pleasure of mine. So I would like to say thank you to B.B. Larson for writing another book in the Undying Mercenaries. This is book number 18 that we will be talking about very soon. So our boy, McGill, in that one is getting up to his usual antics. And of course there is some references about Galena and her sister and her dad, and the Rigelians are back in that one. So that's all the spoilers I'm going to give on that. But so far, that book is absolutely as ridiculous as space sci-fi with little furry bears this tall. That's right, underneath where the camera is setting, that are just angry little dudes. That book is outshining Jack Reacher right now. How's that happen? You tell me. It's not my space. It's not where I'm upset or in a bad spot or even overly stressed, because I thrive on stuff like that. That's the reason why I do what I do. But it's moreover, the book is staying true to the characters and the way the characters should behave. And there's no wishy-washy anything. They are just doing what they are expected to do. But they're doing it in a good and fun way. So that's why that wins over Jack Reacher. And if you've never read the Undying Mercenaries series, yes, it is long. There's a lot of incredible things that have happened in it. But it's probably, from B.V. Larson, in between Undying Mercenaries and Swarm, it's probably some of my favorite sci-fi that I've picked up over the last 5-6 years or so. Absolutely love it to death. But anyway, I digress. I hope that all you wonderful people are doing great. I hope that you're surviving the holidays. Remember, we're all in it together. Everybody needs to just smile and nod, and we'll get past it all quicker than I hope. But anyway, I digress. I don't mean to be all humbug about Christmas, but like I've said in multiple videos, holidays aren't necessarily the easiest time for a lot of people, because you don't know what shoes that they walk in. You don't know what's happened in their life. You don't know what they have experienced during the holiday times in the past to make them feel the way they do. So just try to be kind and understanding a little bit more so than what you would, through the rest of the year. Because you might make somebody's day, and you might be the difference in their day. Anyway, I love your faces. I don't know which one of the videos that are coming in that you'll pick, but if you happen to pick that one, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.